Hannah Hope does, though. Showbiz Editor for Sun on Sunday.
Hello, Cristo.
Mary's still on the stayed on the line to insult me again.
I think she's trolling you, as the kids call it.
She's trolling me as well. Well, OK, we won't talk about Sadiq Khan.
No,
we're going to talk about
not.
some of the big showbiz moments.
Of 2024.
Of 2024. So where should we start?
Well, apart from a few cancellations of Greg Wallace, the repair shop man, Jay Blades, and obviously Hugh Edwards, which we will leave in the past.
Hugh Edwards, quite right. Oh, Jermaine Janus as well.
Jermaine Janus got cancelled, yes. In fact, while he was live on air.
Yes, while he was on TalkSport. I mean, that is proper breaking news,
that really
isn't
was,
it?
yes,
really
exactly.
Is.
Then we've also had the tragic death of One Direction star Liam Payne.
I felt bad about that.
Over in Argentina. And then, but to top it all off, we've now had 5 people charged with manslaughter.
And that was today, right?
Yep, yesterday. So we've had some of the hotel staff, the friend who was meant to be looking after him, the people who dealt him the drugs. So that's allegedly. So that's going to all continue into next year to see how that.
Do you know, I feel bad for his death because clearly he was off his head a lot. And I'll tell you, and even the day he died, on my Instagram feed, that absolutely unhinged interview he gave to Good Morning Britain the morning after the Oscars with Will Smith came up on my feed.
So even though it was years old, it just came up.
So I went on YouTube and watched it and just like laughed my head off at how like completely off his head he was.
What, just randomly?
Yes, randomly. And then like a couple of hours later, it was like it came up that he had died.
No wonder you feel bad.
I felt bad because I was like laughing at how clearly off his head he was.
Yeah.
And clearly he was actually in trouble.
Right, absolutely. I mean, yeah, really tragic. But I do wonder, you know, obviously these people who've been charged with manslaughter, you know, they will see if, you know, they get justice. But you also have to look at the wider picture, don't you? You know, the record label that dropped him, the people who are meant to be looking after him, you know, friends and family. I do think it's, you know, it's a really tough time for everyone going through it now, you know, to sort of deal with the aftermath of his death. But then there's also some happy moments of 2024 to remember.
Oh, let's talk about some happy showbiz moments. What else?
So the Eras tour with Taylor Swift came to the UK, bringing with it £1 billion to the UK economy. 1.2 million people bought tickets to watch her. Did you go and see Taylor Swift?
And probably about 100,000 of those tickets were free ones given to our new government as well.
Yeah, they probably got a few freebies.
Why did Sadiq Khan need 6 tickets? We still don't know, do we?
He's got a big family, Cristo.
Oh, I mentioned Sadiq Khan. Oh, I said I wouldn't. I said I wouldn't, but we did. All right. So that was. I didn't go and see Taylor Swift because Madonna's better.
Well, Madonna's tour wasn't nearly as popular as Taylor Swift, unfortunately, Cristo.
Yeah, but yes, well, OK, when Taylor Swift has done, what, 12, 13, 14 stadium and arena-filling tours and has become the highest-grossing female artist in history at touring, then we'll have a conversation about Taylor Swift.
I think that she's not far off. I think
this tour did very, very well.
Yeah, absolutely. She became a billionaire just with this tour.
Well, you can look at the combined history of the tours themselves. You know, we've had Madonna Sticky and Sweet. We had this latest one, which was, of course, the Celebration tour. Prior to that, then we had her tour that was in Madame X tour, which was in like the Palladium and places like that. Prior to that, we had the MDMA tour. Prior to that, we had the Sticky and Sweet tour. Prior to that, we had the Confessions tour. Prior to that, we had the Reinvention tour. Prior to that, we had the Drown World tour. Prior to that, we had Girly Show. Prior to that, we had Blonde Ambition, and prior to that we had the Madonna show.
Point proving, Cristo.
Thank you.
Having seen both Madonna's most recent tour and Taylor's obviously wins hands down. It was a 3-hour...
Taylor's about a third of her age.
Yeah, Taylor is half Madonna's age, you're right. So Taylor performed for 3 hours straight and did lots of singing, lots of dancing. Madonna, I'm not convinced she was singing live, are you?
We just need to be careful of your microphone a little bit there. I think it's making some noise. Okay. Sometimes Madonna has a little bit of help with her vocals when she sings along to a backing track.
Gosh, are you her PR? That was very carefully said. The other big tour news that we had in 2024 was the long-awaited reunion of Oasis after 15 years. That's obviously going to kick off next year.
And what was interesting about Taylor Swift is that everyone got tickets. What was interesting about the Oasis tour was that no one got tickets.
Well, they do keep announcing new dates.
Are you going?
I haven't got any tickets yet, but I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to review them on one of their nights.
Will you take me?
I didn't know you were an Oasis fan,
Oasis
Cristo.
was one of the best concerts I've ever been to in my life.
You actually did see them the first time round. You're that old.
And I didn't even... I went along because someone I knew had a spare ticket, and I didn't really want to go, and I went, and it was amazing.
Wow, there we go. I mean, I do think that they will be, you know, if they don't fall out before, and if they can keep it together, they've got about 40 dates announced currently. So hopefully they're not going to be partying after the tour or anything like that. I think they're going to go and sing their bits and then head off in different directions.
They're about 70 now, right? They're not going to... They're going to think about the next show, because if they miss a show, they don't get paid.
Absolutely. But also I think that there's a huge concern about them feuding backstage. I think, you know, if they fall out and they refuse to perform together, as they famously did 15 years ago, the tour will be
There are
ruins.
many people I dislike, but offer me hundreds of millions of pounds to get on stage with them. I tell you now, I will smile sweetly and I will tell them that they're the best person in the world, and I will not fall out with them. And I guarantee you they will not fall out.
It's a shame you're not touring, Cristo. Maybe that's what we'll bring in 2025. Cristo on tour. I'd pay to see that. And then finally, it was the year that Strictly Come Dancing...
Nice to be paid to do something in 2025. Anyway, go on.
It was the year that Strictly Come Dancing changed forever after there was an ongoing investigation about backstage bullying, and two of its professional dancers, Graziano Di Prima and Giovanni Panice, were axed from the show thanks to Amanda Abingdon bravely putting her head above the parapet.
Well, we say bravely putting her head above the parapet, but weren't a lot of the allegations that she put forward, they weren't actually found to be accurate.
They upheld 6 allegations.
Out of how many was it?
13, but 13. I think 6.
That's not even half.
But they are still very serious allegations, and some of them they just didn't have enough evidence. I mean, this wasn't a court case. This was just the BBC doing their kind of interviews and their research. So, and also now.
But what was weird about that? Sorry to jump in, but that both sides claimed it as a win then.
Yeah, that was a bit odd. But
she said, well, look, this vindicates me. I've had 6 of these allegations upheld. They're very serious. But then Giovanni also said, well, look, 7 of them weren't upheld. It's a win.
I think on Giovanni's point, it was a PR spin on him. I don't think we'll be seeing him back on the BBC anytime soon, because I don't think how can they let someone in who was found guilty of sexually inappropriate behaviour backstage?
Yeah, but then again, wasn't it just... Again, I'm not saying that it was right.
You just said just.
But what if it was him just making stupid jokes that weren't complained about at the time, and with hindsight was seen as wrong?
Well, I think it was they were complained about. He called her menopausal. I mean, in any other workplace, I think you'd get the sack for that, wouldn't you?
I think that they don't see it as a workplace. That's the problem. I don't think it's actually seen as a proper workplace. I think he sees it as... Or both
well,
of them.
I think the BBC see it as a workplace.
Yeah, the BBC do. But I wonder whether when you're in that environment, you just don't see it like that.
Which is why, thanks to the investigation, they've changed it going forward forever, and they're going to have a choreographer and a chaperone in the room with the dancer and the professional.
And that was your story.
It was my story,
yes, thank you. You have changed Strictly forever.
I have, indeed. And... do you know, it launched to lacklustre viewing figures. It had a little bit of a Z-list cast. You know, we saw our first Love Islanders on there, Towie people on there. But actually, it still got millions and millions of viewers as the season progressed. And I think in the end, it was seen as a success. So it just goes to show Strictly did survive.
Sell my mother to do that show.
You would sell your mother to
I
do
would
that
sell my mother. That's the only reality show I want to do.
I think you'll be in with a chance. I mean, I've never heard of some of the contestants this year. So, I mean, I've definitely heard of you, Cristo.
I think. No, but remember I started following the booker on Instagram, and she's got a private account, and she kept rejecting me following her.
I wonder why that was, Cristo. I wonder if she didn't want her dirty laundry aired in public.
And then the first time she rejected me following her, I was like, oh, okay, maybe it was a mistake. So I did it again, and then she rejected me again.
Goodness. Oh, no.
So I don't think there's any chance of me being on the booker's radar if the booker won't even allow me to follow her. She wasn't even following me. She won't even allow me to follow her.
OK, in 2025, I'm going to take you to a showbiz event that I know she'll be at, and I'm going to introduce you. And then she can reject you in person.
Thank you very much. I would kill to do that show. I would.
Well, something else, I don't know if you're a fan actually, but something else that I think when people are either hungover or a bit cold tomorrow night, they want to snuggle up and watch something, is Traitors
the new one is back.
On 8 p.m, BBC One.
Is it the normal one or the celebrity one
It's tomorrow? The normal one. They haven't filmed the celebrity one yet, and Claudia Winkleman is hosting, and I actually prefer the idea of the normal one with all normal people and just watching all the kind of backstabbing in the games being played. Have you watched it before?
I love
It's brilliant.
The Traitors.
It's brilliant.
It's a really, really good show, and I think that soon Claudia Winkleman will just be a fringe.
Oh, would you?
She will literally just be a mass of hair. Do you remember there used to be? Was there a Muppet or a thing in the Addams Family that was just hair with arms coming out of the side?
Cousin It.
Was that Cousin It?
Oh my gosh, yes, she's going to be Cousin It.
She's going to become Cousin It. She's just going to be a fringe.
Yes, she will be.
Down to the floor with 2 arms sticking out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that also adds to it all, because it's in this spooky castle. It's dark, it's cold, and she, you know, she's very glamorous, but she also, you know, looks a little bit scary sometimes. When you just got this hair talking at you.
Okay, well, those are the big showbiz moments of 2024.
They are indeed.
Oh yeah, we found it. We can't put it on the screen, can we? What is it? What is this character called? Cousin It. It is Cousin It, who was just hair with sunglasses and a hound. That is going to be Claudia Winkleman.
Maybe that should be your 2025 look. Maybe you should just grow your hair all around and then just peek through when you want to.
Do you know how long it takes
presence?
me to get my hair to stand on end like this? Honestly, I haven't got any more time to do any more hair. Honestly, and it cost me a £200 Dyson to get it like this. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And here's to a good 2025.